This iPhone 5S that I previously repaired in one of my other videos has sustained some pretty bad damage. It's got a dent down the side and it's very bent. The aluminium has literally split in one place. This was because when my MacBook Pro failed, I threw it at a wall. The screen has also sustained significant damage, and today I'm going to try and fix it. So I'm going to have to take it apart and put it in a test housing, which will literally just have the bare minimum parts just to make it work. Here is a time lapse of me taking the iPhone 5S that's bent apart. My original plan was to transfer everything flawlessly into this new housing and have it be a permanent housing. However, I messed up multiple times in this time lapse, and I don't have extra parts on hand at the moment, so I don't have the time or the effort wanted to fully fix it. So I just put it in the housing, and I'm gonna try and get it working with the parts I have on hand, which isn't very much because my only other 5S is my working one, and I don't feel like cannibalizing it for an iPhone that probably doesn't work anymore. But does it power on though? Charging, it's charging, it's charging, it's charging. Hold on. Home button works. It's charging. Let's leave that for a bit then. Okay, we have an iTunes restore screen, and I can't really deal with that here because I'm at my grandparents', so I'm going to try plugging it into my laptop when I get home. This is a Blackview A60. It belonged to my girlfriend's brother. Here it looks like a fully working phone, right? Wrong. The touchscreen suddenly stopped working, and there are no visible cracks on the screen. So it's FRP locked, but I can get past that once the touchscreen works again. So I'm going to try taking it apart and see what I can do. Backplate, be gone. I've already taken this apart, but not fully apart. So the inside of the A60 looks quite similar to this Yule phone. So if I'm lucky and it isn't just a connector problem, the connector might be the same as for this phone. I doubt it, but it could be. Without further ado, let's remove the back. You gotta appreciate when a phone company uses Phillips screws in 2021. What I don't appreciate, however, is the fact you can't remove this battery despite the back being removable. These cheap Android phones have so much potential to be good. It's just the software that lets them down. Despite Android Go claiming to make these phones run better, it really does not. The 1GB of RAM is still 1GB of RAM. Rather than forcing newer versions of Android Go on them, they could just use older versions of Android like Marshmallow or Lollipop. Although those operating systems are really old at this point, they still do their job.
I took it apart and the batteries were the same, but the other parts aren't, and it's big sad, and I have to take the motherboard out and all that. So I've reseated the connector now, and I'm going to try and put it back together and see if that's made any difference. And if it hasn't, I'm going to cry.
Crying?
Yeah. So it still turns on, which is a good sign. So I know that I didn't actually wreck it or anything. Well, any more than it already is. Oh god, I messed it up. It's flickering. I don't even know if that's visible on camera. Probably not, but it's flickering. And Wi-Fi is now being moody too, so I'm gonna go cry.